So many times in life, we are caught up in situations wherein uh, people become very judgmental, we are outcast, and you really don't know what is happening. So, in that situation, so what is the best strategy that people have adopted? And let's understand how one person has come out of it comfortably and sensibly. You just don't know what to do in that situation, and many a times it's better that you first analyze the situation before coming to any conclusion. So, I will just discuss about an individual uh, who was previously underestimated or mistreated by a group and how they have regained their power and influence. So, the message highlights that by simply standing up for oneself and setting very firm boundaries, the individual has very slowly but surely disrupted the group's negative dynamics. Because in scenarios like this, whether it's in office, mostly in office where there are quite number of people and there are like office politics, when people love to gain importance, and there are few people who love to put in their effort to rightful job, but they're not behind, they don't showcase their effort. But yes, the seniors know that this is the person who is contributing to the success. This is the person who is definitely necessary for the progress of the organization. But still, when it comes to group dynamics, people form groups, people with like minded thoughts. It can be that all of them don't want to work. So they form a group and very comfortably they try to act against this individual. They have acted against this individual. The individual was underestimated uh, and mistreated by the group. And but very silently, slowly, how they have regained power and influence is what I would love to discuss. So, what is the first take? Uh, the individual went silent for a while, first to understand what exactly is happening, what is the negative dynamics that are going on, how much has the negativity spread, who is the core group, who is the minions or the flying monkeys who is supporting them. Okay, but then amidst all this, there's also one more thing which is very important. Keep on doing your work. So don't allow all these things to impact you. So as you keep on doing your work, the work also speaks for itself. It shows that despite all that politics, despite all that disturbances, you were not impacted and you continued your work, whether it is in professional sphere or personal sphere. Don't stop anything. Keep progressing, keep working on it. Yes, it does impact you sometimes. It does hit your conscience and confidence sometimes, but please keep going on. So once you keep going on, the progress that you make despite all this disturbance speaks for itself. So this is one particular individual who was attacked in all corners. At the same time, the person had personal matters to be taken care, children's education or their own growth was also there. So the individual acted upon one's own growth also. They started taking up courses uh, to upgrade their skill set and knowledge. At the same time, they encourage their child to do well by supporting them with their academics. All this was not disrupted, and they slowly started continuing doing it. And very slowly but strategically, what they did was they chose to set a boundary. So the power of boundary is this individual has not chosen to engage in conflict, or did they end up defending themselves? So by not doing so, what happened when the person has not defended and they have not engaged in conflict? So this individual has forced the others who were engaged in negative drama to re-evaluate their actions. So once they have not seen the kind of response they wanted in this individual, they wanted this individual to be down, discouraged, demotivated, and depressed. But on the other hand, this individual was more motivated, more active, mo- was taking up more challenging work, which created a challenge for this negative group. So this individual has forced others to reevaluate their actions by setting firm boundary. And very nicely and sensibly, she has disrupted the system. The way she disrupted the system is the group attempted to isolate and undermine the individual. But this failed because the individual stopped being the victim or pushover the group expected them to be. She, the individual did not become a victim, or she did not, play the trump card everywhere that this happened, I want your support. No. When the firm boundaries were set, and when this group who created this negative drama did not find the kind of response which they expected, slowly the group's attempt to isolate and undermine this individual failed. Now, how did the shift in perspective happen? So the group kept continuing. They started even spending money, uh, started going ahead with negative campaign, started tactics where they can disrupt the individual's routine, uh, the mind, but the individual kept continuing. So this actually made these people reevaluate whether whatever they're doing is working or not. So how did the shift in perspective happen? Now, because this person has not acted or behaved in the way the other person, the negative group, wanted, what happened? The group slowly started to become anxious, not because of direct attack, because they no longer know what to expect and how much the individual truly knows what these people are doing and their past behaviors. Because this group is the one who has gained maximum advantage from the individual. They have taken support whenever it was needed, they have taken the help when it was needed, whether for the child's education or for their own professional growth, or whether in terms of investments or any other perspective, they have taken that individual's help. Now, when the individual has not reacted to their negativity in the way they expected, the group itself started feeling anxious because they were investing both their time, okay, money as well, That is that is the biggest comedy. Money as well, and each time they have to build a new group. Now they themselves were in a dilemma whether this individual has understood what exactly has happened. How much does the individual know about their past behavior? How much truth is already revealed to many people? And why is it that this individual has not broken despite so much effort? And it's happened for more than, I guess, it started all off in the first, you know, in the second month of this year. So it's already August, so it's like 7 months, right? But since the individual continued performing the way they naturally do, they started upgrading themselves. They started, taking time for the family, helping the family do well. And in all this, amidst all this, all this drama, they thought the person himself will be affected, the family will be affected, their child's education will be impacted. This was main goal. Funnily, luckily, luckily, whatever we can say, since the individual chose to concentrate on oneself, started improving, started doing the things which they normally do every day, the child also performed so well that the result itself spoke that the negativity did not influence. So once this happened, the group themselves started having doubts on one another. Whether the information was revealed, why is that this person has not reacted the way they wanted the individual to do? And why did it not happen? What is it that helped, or who is that? Yes, of course, the friends, the support system still stood by that individual, and they gave her the more confidence. They gave the confidence. So that confidence was good enough for them. But they kept on performing despite all the disruption. And since now the group is feeling anxious that nothing, all of that attack is not working anymore, they started feeling more anxious because their investment in time, energy, money, and people has not worked. They're now in a confusion whether there is someone in their group who has actually spilled over milk and actually passed on information. Yes, this did not happen directly. The information did reach her or him, the individual, but it happened in a very subtle manner. There were like people who felt that it was an unnecessary thing of attacking, to attack a person and undermine the person. So slowly, there are certain people who were moderate enough who moved away, who thought they should not engage in this because if proven wrong, they might be legally viable for an action. So the moral of the story was the individual, by focusing on the quality of their relationships, their work, rather than duration of them, and by slowly distancing themselves from those people who are not respecting their boundaries, she, the individual has collapsed the entire network or the group who wanted to disturb their mental peace, uh, their work, and ensure that the person is so broken that they may not grow up again in their life. So the core message or the core takeaway in this entire episode is empowerment. You do not, you should not, and you do not need to fight everyone or every individual to regain your standing. Maintain your self-respect, refuse to play by the rules set by others, slowly disrupt the negativity, and the negativity will slowly surround, and the negativity that is slowly surrounding you will collapse naturally as those who were once against you begin to scatter or change their behavior to avoid any unnecessary consequences. Yes, people started fearing unnecessary consequences. They had doubt if the individual was able to find out what exactly happened, where it happened. So slowly they started packing out. And one more important takeaway is the power of silence in this entire episode. Neither the person was given an opportunity to put across their viewpoint, and the individual did knew what all transactions happened at the back. So by the time the person could assess what happened, ఏమి జరిగింది, ఎందుకు జరిగింది, कैसे हुआ, क्या हुआ, ये कब हुआ, ये सब समझने के लिए थोड़ा बहुत तो टाइम लगेगा. ये टाइम जब समझ में आ जाता है, when you start understanding it, that is when you can actually use this power of silence and power of setting boundaries to regain your strength back. And also the way this person has successfully fought against these people is the work started speaking for her. work started speaking for the individual. And when it steps on further to a point where they were trying to hit on the reputation, truth, and personal vindication, that that's when this person has chosen silence and concentrating more on their work. So don't stop doing your own work. Don't stop doing your daily goals. Start upgrading more. Start showing what you are. So this way, the negativity slowly, because those people with less skill sets are always made lower down. So they will understand that there's no way near this person. Slowly, steadily, not only this person will understand, but all those people who have who have supposedly supported this idiot will also understand that the truth will eventually triumph. So the shift in perspective slowly happened. So when definitely when you are unfairly judged or criticized by others, you would really feel bad. So the key takeaway is the power of silence. So in such situations, don't start explaining things. So the video, so although you might be the target of criticism or had to question, slowly try to change the spotlight. How does it happen? Because no one has asked you about what exactly happened. How did it happen? Now, over a period of time, when the same story is being played by those group, others start slowly see others slowly start to begin seeing the true nature of the other person who has cast these doubts. So what happened is what will eventually happen is there will be at least that one person who question that what exactly happened for you to behave like this. If this question crops up, that is that point wherein all their dramas start to fail, and no group will continue for a long time with such negativity. Somewhere it has to eventually fail, and it will fail. So the message is keep your cool, set firm boundaries, keep away being part of that negativity, keep away from them, set firm boundaries, uh, keep on doing your work, keep on improving your skill set, keep on doing more so that you eventually gain your strength. So the key takeaway is concentration. So concentrating, the individual got a certificate in artificial intelligence. There's raised the skill set. The child has proved themselves with being a topper and with good percentage. So that is one more victory. And subsequently, a good percentage in other exams also proved the mitigated the group. Now the group is not in a position to discuss about this person. So next we will discuss about the power of silence. So when you're being the target of criticism or when your character is questioned, just see how the spotlight has shifted from this person to them. When this person did not defend themselves or they did not provide any explanation, the person's strength or character is revealed through their actions and consistency over time. The consistency speaks. While the person attacking you try to weave a different story each time, they only contradict their behaviors and they only start exposing them. So over a period of time, A person who relies on lies forget what is spoken earlier, and they slowly start getting trapped in their own words. People around them will also start noticing them for what they are.